Hello, this is Pastor Dan. I wanted to welcome you to another edition of my daily devotion where I read through one of the readings from the daily office book. Every day you read from a psalm, an Old Testament passage, a New Testament passage, a gospel passage and an epistle passage. The one thing that I wanted to talk about is kind of a riff off of what I talked about two or three episodes ago, where it talked about some's an arm, some people are legs, some people are serve different functions in the body of Christ. And then he talks about speaking in tongues in 1 Corinthians, and that leads us to this current passage where he says it's better for you to have prophesied for the world so that they could see. I'm not going to talk about speaking in tongues. What I am going to be talking about in terms of prophesying is, it really strikes me that Paul is really recommending this, and it's not anything new for our modern day. He doesn't mean where you prophesy, where you lay your hands on somebody and you think of their future events that's going to happen in their life. That may happen. I mean, God can do anything. But I think what Paul is talking about here is having the eyes to see the world and the direction that it's going, that the Spirit lay upon your heart what needs to be said and what needs to be heard for a coming generation, for a future church. This message of that it's good to be a prophet, to prophesy, I think is important because it leads us to be people who are able to see the world around us with a lens of the word ought, that we ought to see things better, like that the world around us needs to be in a better place. And having that prophetic eyes, that prophetic, as Brueggemann would call it, this theologian, he would say, and a prophetic imagination where you could see around you and then you could speak truth about the circumstances. And I think this is what Paul is getting at when he says it's good to prophesy. Our most modern day kind of obvious example of this would be Martin Luther King, when he talked about, I had a dream, and in that day, when that will come, he speaks against racism and structured racism in such a way where he talks about not shame, 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 this is guilt, guilt, guilt. He talked about it in a way, there will be a day when something will come, that something is freedom in Jesus Christ. But then he speaks about it in its modern context, that why can't we start right now? And I think that's part of that prophetic imagination, is that bringing that future hope that we have in Jesus Christ, and we have it bear fruit and bear reality in our midst. All of that to say, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you can see the world around you and speak truth into it, and I hope that you stay safe during this COVID-19 craziness that's going on. Stay quarantined, stay healthy, and blessings.